Good evening, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Match Chat, and this is your official WWE Survivor Series War Games. I can't wait to stop saying this. Oh my god, I can't deal with it anymore. Seriously. So how that was War Games. Okay, it's the first time on the main roster. It wasn't bad, but because I'm a Judgment Day freak. I was pissed off that Rhea and Finn lost, so I'm not thrilled about the whole situation. Yes, I'm wearing an AEW hoodie while I'm doing this. I'm freezing. Okay, all my other hoodies are um, being hang dried right now, and they're soaked. And I think I have a Bullet Club one, so yeah, okay. So that was War Games. It was a emotional. My couple of my uh, points to look out for was when I mean, really, I've never heard WWE talk about New Japan this much in my entire life. So there is going to be a working order, and I think it's going to benefit everybody across the board. Also, I love the fact that Kevin Owens wore a Dusty Rhodes T-shirt, which was God, I was like, and I saw it was like, oh my God, and then I just started like tearing up. I was like, no, this is not happening. Excellent thumbs up show to my case. It was worth getting everything done and whatnot. And of course, I had to support Rhea Ripley. I had to support her. Got the new T-shirt, and I'm just I know I'm a mark. I know, and not so. I don't care. I don't care. When I found out what that adjective was, I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was something completely different. And I'm glad I was able to find out it wasn't that bad. So, um, all in all, we've got the beginning of the end of the bloodline with Sami Zayn, where Roman Reigns is going to keep him very close to the chest, keep his eye out on him, and he's going to probably see Sami Zayn's betrayal 10,000 feet in front of him. What goes on with the Judgment Day? Where is their new feud? Um, we now see the startings of Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I'm hoping for at WrestleMania. Ripley deserves that title. Nobody else deserves that title. Okay. We have a new United States champion. I was completely thrown off on that one. And we Ronda Rousey just mowed through another member of the women's locker room on SmackDown. But all in all, decent freaking show. Let's get into it. Let's get into the rundown of the show so I can get you in, get you out of here. I gotta go get some sleep. I'm exhausted. I did a lot today, and my son, ooh, didn't help with that because he was kind of under my feet, and I couldn't get anything done because they had to keep stopping. So let's get this started. This is your official WWE Survivor Series War Games 2022. This is dedicated to all the people over at harrys.com. Go visit their website for all your toiletry and shaving necessities. Also, go visit Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com and get all your beard essentials. Also, go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com and get your thirst murdered by 3 awesome flavors: mango orange, mixed berry, and lime. Also, go check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com and get all your coffee essentials. merchandise, accessories, and the actual coffees. The brews are Valhalla, medium dark brew, espresso, gingerbread for the seasonal flavor. We have blueberry vanilla. We also just finished pumpkin coffee chai, and they have this exclusive one called Rumball. So go check them out at Liquid Death, deathwitchcoffee.com. Also, if you are into professional into independent professional wrestling, they have HOG, House of Glory, and they're having their next event in December, and it is they're going to have not Leo Rush, Low Key versus Kenta. They're going to have an appearance by the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis, and so much more. So go check out their website for all the information and the download at hogwrestling.net. Now, if you're in the greater Pennsylvania area, go check out Outbreak Wrestling and Sanctuary Wrestling. Check them out on all their social media. Speaking of social media, please go check my TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, Mel's Match Chat. Also, go check out me on Snapchat and Facebook. And please, when you get to my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and turn on my notifications and share my videos. That would be great. That's all I ask from you. That's all I ask from you. All right. It's that time of year for WWE to host one of the biggest premium live events of the year, Survivor Series. This show will take place at the TD Garden Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. These are the going to be the matches that are going to be appearing. So this show promises to be an exciting and will feature 2 War Game matches for the first time in Survivor Series history. Apart from these War Game matches, Survivor Series boasts a stacked card filled with exciting matches. The full match card go as follow. The women's War Game match. Team Belair, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch versus Team Bayley, Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. And WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi Blackheart. Then we have AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Triple threat match for the United States Championship match. Seth freaking Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. And the men's War Games match. The Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. So we start the opener for the War Games. We have the opening package, and the commentators welcome the audience and introduce the rules of War Games match. We started off with women's War Games match. Becky Lynch, they have all the entrants, and they put them in the shark cages. We started off with Dakota Kai and Bianca Belair. So the match starts by Belair throwing Kai across the ring. She hits a drop kick. Belair hung up on the ropes. Belair with a takedown. Shoulder tackle from Bianca and Belair. Pick up Kai. She fights back. Belair hits a backbreaker on Kai. Belair sends into the corner and Kai hits her with a big boot. Kai continues to attack Belair. Belair kicked into the other ring. Belair fights back with some kicks. Belair hits a suplex. Both women exchange strikes. Scorpion kick by Kai. Kai gets planted by Belair. Belair sends Kai into the steel cage. Belair powerbombs Kai into the cage. Io Sky enters the cage next. Sky with a drop kick. She assaults Belair. Io hits the Hurricane Rana. Belair caught between both women. She fights them off, but Io hits a crossbody. Both women attack Belair in the corner. Belair suplexes both of them. Io hits a springboard dropkick on Belair. Both women attack Belair. Belair sent into the cage. Asuka enters the cage next. Asuka hits a German suplex on Kai. She comes face to face with Io. Both women trade strikes. Sky with an arm drag. Sorry. Asuka fights back with a hip attack. She hits a combination of strikes and leg sweep, followed by a running knee. Asuka climbs on the top of the rope, but is stopped by Kai, and Asuka slips down. Belair picks up Kai and throws her into the cage. Asuka hits a missile dropkick on Io. Belair hits the suplex on Kai. Nikki Cross gets a couple of kendo sticks and trash can lids and enters the cage for the next for her team. Cross attacks Belair with the trash can lid. She then hits the tornado DDT. Cross picks up Asuka and slams her. Before she came in, she got a lot of nice toys. Cross removes her jacket and attacks both women. Cross continues to attack Belair with the trash can lid. Asuka enters the cage next. I am pleasantly surprised on this. She held her own, and that's all I care about. Case closed, let's move on. She hits a drop kick on Kai and takes out Io. She then drop kicks Cross. Asuka hits the bulldog on Io onto the trash can lid. Nikki fights back and attacks Bliss. Cross climbs the cage. Bianca goes after her and Damage Control attacks her. Bliss and Asuka beat Damage Control with kendo sticks. Cross dives on everyone. Bayley gets the ladder and a table and enters the cage next for her team. Bayley with a sunset flip onto Belair, sending her into the corner. They trap Belair between the rings. Io hits the moonsault on Alexa Bliss. Bayley hits the suplex on Asuka, followed by a double stomp by Kai. Mia Yim gets a couple of trash cans and enters the cage for her team. She attacks Bayley and Kai with a trash can. She takes out Cross and Io next. Yim sends Kai into the cage. Cross jumps onto Yim and chokes her. Yim dives from one ring to another on Bayley. Belair sets up the table in the ring. Belair hits the suplex on Bayley. Yim hit a suplex on Kai, and Bliss hits the German suplex on Cross. Rhea Ripley enters the cage next and attacks Belair and Asuka. She hits the German suplex on Belair. Bliss dives onto her but gets caught and suplexed. Bayley works on Belair. Io hits a running basement dropkick and on Asuka. Yim takes out the legs of Ripley and throws a trash can onto her. Io Sky hits me and Yim with a trash can. Becky Lynch enters the cage and Wargames commences. Becky fights off everyone. She takes out Io and kicks Kai and Cross. Lynch slams Io's face on the ladder. Cross accidentally hits Io. Lynch attacks Io with a trash can using a leg drop. Becky and Bayley come face to face. Both women exchange strikes. Becky with a flurry of strikes. She tries to punch Ripley but is caught and headbutted. Rhea hits the Riptide. Cover 1-2. Asuka makes the save. Mia Yim sent into the cage. Asuka hits the poison mist and Becky hits the DDT. Bayley attacks both of them from behind. Bayley sets Becky in the Tree of Woe. Bayley hits the rose plant onto the steel. Cover 1-2. Asuka makes the save. Io climbs the cage but is stopped by Asuka. Kai and Bailey attack Asuka. They are joined by Yim and Bliss. Belair tries to join them but attacked by Cross. Bliss falls off and Cross with a twisted neck breaker. Io climbs the cage and hits a moonsault on Belair and Yim. Cross attacks Bliss. She takes the handcuffs and tries to handcuff her to the cage, but Bliss handcuffs her together. Bliss then hits the electric chair onto the trash can. Asuka goes for the hip attack, but is caught and thrown onto the cage. Ripley goes for a riptide. Yim counters into a sleeper. Ripley breaks the hold by diving her into the ladder. Becky and Belair brawl and with damage control. Belair goes for the KOD, but she lands on her feet. Becky hits a manhandle slam. Belair hits the KOD on Io. Belair sets Sky and Kai on the table and hits a KOD on Bailey. Becky climbs the top of the cage and hits the diving leg drop for the win. Winner, Team Belair, Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Mia Yim. We go Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman are backstage. Jey says he knew he wouldn't trust Zayn from day one and says he's the reason they lost. He said he saw him and Owens together and asks what they're going to do about it. Roman says Jey will be the right-hand man and he will be the tribal chief. Reigns says he will look at Zayn in his eyes and he'll know where his loyalties lie. He asks Jey to focus on tonight. Then he asks Paul Heyman to call Sami Zayn. I gotta take a Tums. I just took my medicine and it's not sitting right. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Boy, did they talk about fucking New Japan a lot. Holy shit. They both sides, Judgment Day and the OC, went out on their entrances. The match starts with Styles attacking the legs of Balor. Styles hits the backbreaker. He then hits the knee breaker. Balor fights back with punches to the midsection. Styles with a headbutt. Balor with a roll-up and then hits a stomp. Balor attacks Styles in the corner. He hits a backbreaker, cover one, kick out. Balor locks in the abdominal stretch. Balor attacks the back of Styles. Styles fights back with clotheslines and a running forearm. He picks up Balor and hits the neck breaker. Finn fights back with vicious kicks, but Styles catches him and dragon screw on the ropes. Priest distracts the referee and Dominic trips Styles. The OC attacks Dominic and the two teams brawl on the outside. Priest is sent to the crowd. Anderson sent into the crowd next. Styles sends Dominic into the crowd and both team brawl into the crowd. Styles picks up Finn, but he reverses it into a roll-up, but a kick out. Balor hits the sling blade. Styles with an insecurity and follows up with a suplex in the corner. Cover, 1-2 kick out. Styles attempts a calf crusher, but Finn rolls through and hits the double stomp. Balor continues to kick Styles. Styles with a flurry of strikes, but Finn counters and plants him. Cover 1-2 kick out. Balor goes for a Styles clash, but AJ reverses it and hits a Pele kick. Balor then hits him with a Pele kick of his own. Styles attacks Balor in the corner. Styles sent to the apron. He launches himself, but it's caught by planted by Balor. Cover 1-2 kick out. Styles plants Finn, cover 1-2 kick out. Styles goes for a 450 splash, but Balor escapes and hits a running drop kick. He then climbs to the top rope and attempts a coup de grace, but Styles escapes and locks in the calf crusher. Balor fights out by slamming Styles' head continuously into the mat. Balor attacks Styles in the corner. Both men trade blows. Styles hits an insecurity. Styles sent to the rope. He hits a phenomenal forearm for the winner. Not Finn Balor, AJ Styles, sorry. SmackDown Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi Blackheart. The match begins with Shotzi attacking Rousey, but Rousey takes her down and locks in the ankle lock. Shotzi fights out of it and attacks her in the corner as Rousey rolls out. Shotzi goes for a suicide dive, but Shayna pushes Ronda away. Shotzi sends Rousey into the steel steps. Shayna gets on the apron, but it is taken out. Shotzi climbs to the top rope and dives into Shotzi, but gets caught. Ronda attacks Shotzi. Rousey locks in the ankle lock. She then locks in another submission. Shotzi escapes and Rousey continues to assault her. Shotzi attacks Ronda. Shotzi hits a tornado DDT from the ring to the outside. She takes both out, Shayna and Rousey. She then sends them both into the crowd and dives onto them. She sends Ronda back into the ring and climbs the top rope. Is caught by Ronda and is taken down. Cover 1-2 kick out. Ronda picks her up and hits a Piper's Pit before locking in the armbar for her to tap. She retains. Ronda Rousey. Roman Reigns is backstage and he's joined by Sami. Roman asks how he is feeling and he replies he's feeling great. Roman asks if Sami was talking to Kevin Owens. Sami admits it. Roman asks why he lied to Jay. He said he lied to Jay because he had a huge match and didn't want to distract him. He also says that he didn't talk to Owens. He only listened to him. Reigns asks what did Owens tell him. Zayn admitted what Owens said. Reigns says that this is his family. This is his blood. And he asks Zayn to look him in the eyes and ask him if he is with them. Sami Zayn says he is with them. He also says that there are 5 people allowed in this room, and that means the world to him. He also says he won't let him down, and he is with the bloodline. Reigns stands up and asks Sami to do the same. He smiles at Sami and says, "Let's do it." And they both hug. Reigns becomes serious. Triple threat ladder match for the United States Championship. Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. Bobby, all of them are announced in. We start the match with Bobby Lashley sending Theory to the outside. Theory gets on the apron and Rollins attacks him. Lashley attacks Rollins in the corner and followed it up with a neckbreaker. Lashley goes for the hurt lock, but Rollins escapes. Rollins had sent to the apron and is taken out by Theory. Theory attacks Lashley in the ring. Lashley hits a suplex. He is taken out Seth and attacks both men in the corner. He slams both of them. Lashley picks up Theory and takes out Rollins using Theory. Lashley hits a gut wrench, cover 1-2. Theory pulls the referee out of the ring. Lashley chases Theory and sends him into the timekeeper's area. Theory tries to hit him with a steel chair, but Lashley catches it and picks him up. Theory escapes but is knocked out. Rollins dives onto Lashley and sends him into the steel steps. Theory attacks Rollins and attacks both men with steel rings, the steel steps. He again asks Lashley and sends Rollins in the ring before hitting a drop kick. 1-2 cover, 1-2 kick out. Theory continues to work on Rollins. He goes to the outside and dives Lashley into the announcer's table before sending him into the barricade. Rollins rolls him up but doesn't get the pinfall. Theory knocks down Rollins with an elbow. He attacks Rollins but only fires him up and fights back. Rollins unloading with chops. Rollins hits the clothesline and follows it up with a sling blade. He then hits a suicide dive on Lashley and then on Theory. He does it again and dives onto both of them. Rollins hits the powerbomb, cover 1-2 kick out. Rollins goes for the stomp, but Lashley pulls him away and drives Rollins before locking in the hurt lock. Theory locks in the sleeper hold, and Lashley lets go of Rollins and sends Theory out of the ring. Rollins hits the pedigree. Cover 1-2 kick out. Rollins climbs the top rope and goes for Phoenix Splash, but Lashley escapes and Rollins is sent to the out of the ring. Theory hits a blockbuster and attempts the A-Town downtown, but Lashley with the hurt lock. Theory counters and rolls into the 1-2 Rollins with a splash onto Lashley. Cover 1-2 kick out. Rollins with an enziguri and a rolling forearm. Theory fights back and goes for a pedigree, but Rollins escapes and picks up Theory. Lashley locks both men in the hurt lock. Both men escape. Rollins asks both men when he hits the stomp and sends Theory to the apron. Theory climbs to the top rope, but Rollins hits a superplex and attempts the Falcon Arrow, but Lashley spears him and Theory lands on Rollins for the win. We have Austin Theory is the new United States champion. The cage for the men Wargames is lowered. Roman Reigns is backstage. He is joined by Jay, who asks about Sammy. Roman says he saw everything he needed to see. Men's Wargame match. The Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. We have Butch and Jay starting off the match. So Butch attacks Jay and follows it with a clothesline. He works the arm of Jay. Butch attacks Jay's arm. Jay sends Butch into the steel cage. Jay attacks Butch, hits the neck breaker. Jay attacks Butch's arm. Butch fights back and attacks the arm of Jay Uso. Butch attempts the Kimura, but Uso escaped. Ridge enters the cage next and hits the shoulder tackle. Jay fights back with an uppercut. Ridge hits the Tinsel World Slam and follows it with a clothesline in the corner. Both men hit high-low and attack Jay's arm. Butch continues to work Jay's arm. Reigns asks Sammy to enter the cage next. Jay sends Butch into the cage. Sammy attacks Ridge from behind and then stomps Ridge. Ridge hits Sammy with a couple of uppercuts. Jay and Sammy work together to take out Ridge before arguing. Butch hits a moonsault off the cage. Ridge picks up both men and slams them into the mat. Ridge goes to the attack. but Jay and Sammy pull him away. Butch sent into the cage. Drew McIntyre enters the cage next. Both men attack Drew, but fighting them off and sends Jay into the cage. Drew picks up Jay and throws him into the cage. He hits a belly to belly throw on Sammy. McIntyre sets up Jay on the top rope. Sammy stops him. Ridge and sends Sammy into the cage. Jay fights off Drew, Ridge, and Butch, but is still thrown off by Drew. McIntyre hits a Future Shock DDT. Jimmy Uso gets a couple of tables and enters the ring. Sammy goes to set up the table in the ring, but Jay and Sammy argued with each other. The Usos attacked Drew and sent them into the ring. Butch gets sent into the cage. They set up a table in the corner. Sammy attacks McIntyre in the corner. Drew hits a Glasgow kiss on Sammy. Owens gets a couple of chairs and enters the ring. He's next. He attacks the Usos with a steel chair. He hits the DDT on Jimmy and hits the cannonball on Jay. He then hits the swanton on Jay. He comes to face with Sammy, but Ridge attacks Sammy and Jay attacks Owens. Drew McIntyre hits the suplex on Zayn. Owens slams Jimmy through a table. Drew attacks Sammy in the corner. Solo enters the cage next. Sequoia attacks Ridge and Butch. Sequoia sends Butch into the cage. Sequoia hits the Samoan drop on Ridge. Owens and Sequoia brawl between the ring. Sequoia with a headbutt, but Owens drives him into the cage. Owens hits the super kick. Owens goes for a power bomb, but Solo hits the backdrop. Solo and McIntyre brawl in the ring. Drew gets taken down. Drew hits a flying headbutt. Sheamus enters the ring next, and we start the match beyond Wargames. Sammy tries to close the cage door, but Sheamus opens the door and slams it into Sammy. He then attacks the Usos and Zayn. Sheamus with a flying clothesline off the top rope. Sheamus sends Sammy into the cage. The Brawling Brutes attack the Usos and Sammy. Solo with headbutts to Sheamus. He picks up Sheamus, but Sheamus fights out of it. Sheamus picks up Solo and climbs the top rope and hits a white noise. Roman Reigns enters, and now it starts. Sorry, I was like, what the? And I even started questioning myself. Next, the match is officially started. Both factions stare down. They brawl in the ring. Roman with uppercuts to everyone. He hits Sheamus with a Superman punch. Reigns goes for the spear, but Sheamus counters and goes for the 10 beats of the Bataran, but the bloodline stops him. After the Brawling Brutes team hits the 10 beats of the Bataran on the bloodline. It was all of them at the same time in the middle of the ring. That was a good spot. Sheamus and Drew attack Roman Reigns. Reigns fights back and picks up Sheamus. He counters and hits a knee strike. Sheamus hits a bro kick on Solo, and Reigns hits a spear. 1-2 Butch to save Zayn attacks Butch. Butch fights back. Jay accidentally hits Sammy with a super kick. The Usos hit the 1D from the top rope. 1-2 Ridge to the rescue. The Usos hit the super kick, and Reigns spears him. Sequoia with a drop kick, and he follows it up with a spinning Solo before Owens hits the stunner. 1-2 Reigns break it up. Owens and Reigns stare down. Both men trade blows. Reigns hits the Superman punch. He goes for the spear, but Kevin hits the super kick and a pop-up powerbomb, followed by the stunner. 1-2 Zayn stops the referee count. Sammy and Owens come face to face. They both argue in the ring. Jimmy goes for a super kick but is caught. Sammy hits the low blow to Owens. He checks on Roman before hitting the louver kick on Owens. Jay climbs up to the top rope and hits the splash for the win. The Bloodline win. After the match, Zayn and Reign hug in the ring. Jay and Jimmy also hug Sammy in the ring. And that is the end of Survivor Series War Games. Um, it was entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But there's is there anything that we could go upon? Yes, we can go upon what's Roman Reigns' next opponent, and we can definitely see where the women's title is going to go, and it just better go to Rhea Ripley, or we're gonna have problems. So that is it. It's a very short night. I am exhausted. I've had my son home all the weekend. I had a lot to do today. So I'm going to cut this really short. I know this is a really short one. It's like under 45 minutes, and that's short for me. So do me a favor, go and check out harrys.com, maestroclassics.com, liquiddeath.com, deathwishcoffee.com. Go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. Go check out in the greater Pennsylvania area, Sanctuary and Outbreak Wrestling. And please go check out all my social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, Mel's Match Chat. And also go check out Snapchat and Facebook. Also, when you're at my YouTube page, please like and share all of my videos. You're more than welcome to. And please go and subscribe and turn on all my notifications. So I will be back here at 2 p.m. for episode 267. And then now we're just going to be the countdown to deadline is going to be fast approaching. So we're going to be on to that, and we're going to find out what's more about this new match concept. So I want you to have a great rest of your Sunday, well, almost Monday, early Sunday morning. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I will see you on Friday at 2 p.m. on Mel's Match Chat for episode 267. Have a great evening. I love you all, and I'll see you on Friday. Good night. Bye-bye.